Hello everybody, welcome to Over the Alps. Alright, so looks like that's a postcard from 1949 and hopefully this music isn't too loud. It's gotten a bit louder compared to that first video. What is this? We have basically lit a candle. Credits. Okay. Can't click on the watch. What's this? That doesn't do anything. What's over here? Nothing. What's over here? Settings. Aha. I don't think it'll make much of a difference being on full screen. I'll just keep it as is. That's the default settings. I don't see any blurry edges or anything. So this game first came out on Apple, right? Apple Arcade. Not too long ago, but so it's not really a new game. Let's start a new game. See what happens. Maybe let's load. I have no idea. So, I mean, unlike a lot of people, I still have my games installed on a hard drive, physical hard drive, not a solid state, so that's probably why the loading is taking a bit of time. So, alright, so 1939, August 29th. Mussolini fumes over daring prison escape. 4 prisoners escaped from a detention facility outside of Milan last night, an incident the Italian Prime Minister has branded the work of foreign agents. In a statement this morning, Mr. Mussolini vowed that no efforts would be spared to retrieve the prisoners, whom he described as dangerous political insurgents. Alright. It's a postcard. I've been enjoying the sights and smells of Milan, my friend. Aubrey. Am I supposed to be clicking on any of these? Oh, these are choices. Okay, so here we go. Postcard Aubrey. I've been enjoying the sights and smells of Milan, my friend. Quite a city, no matter what Mussolini's doing to the place. But Mussolini will wreck it in the end. Am I supposed to pick one of these? Well, let's stick with the optimist here. Let's just stick with that. I won't tell you precisely what I got up to. Wait, that's already written. Wait. Oh! Okay, so I can drag and click. I see. So, so we can choose. Fascism will never overcome beauty. It will die trying. I won't tell you precisely what I've been up to. Feels like that is something that might get intercepted in the mail. And that's something that's potentially not too good. Let's be smug about it. Alright. Control has enough dirt on me already, I think. But it shouldn't have any of those messy consequences our masters dislike so much. I have no idea what I'm doing. So let's see what we have here. And would you believe it, I even met a girl. Or, I don't think Milan will remember my face. I got out, I didn't break too many noses on the way. I would continue the line of smugness, or... Clearly, as you can tell, I haven't played this game at all. You see if the controller actually works. It does. Maybe I actually will just play this with a controller, because that I don't have to move the mouse around a whole lot. Let's pursue the line of love. And would you believe it, I even met a girl. You're a charismatic British agent, so I'm a British agent. Alright, this is starting to... Alright, so... Black hair, blue eyes, a stunner, she said. Control needs you in Riva San Vitale. Don't hang about. You tell control from me. I want to live long enough to own a vineyard with a girl like that. Okay. Well, interesting. Interesting. I kind of like how this is going. The Italian Gambit. Act 1. Chiasso. Alright, definitely pretty neat looking artwork. What am I doing here? Basically, my options are train. Is that diary? Milan prison escape. Mussolini vows response. We already got that. What's this? A timeline, is it? Oh, it's a map. Okay. I can't do anything. I can stop time, I suppose. Paused. Save and quit or resume. I guess I will look at the train. So, I guess we have... It'll just continue these postcard adventures. Okay, 49 stops Aubrey, and they call this an express. Switzerland is full of these electric trains, the young woman in my compartment remarked, as we lurched to a halt once again. Not enough fuel here to run proper trains. No gold coal mines, I think. She smiled at me, a prim, unaccustomed smile like an ill-fitted shoe. That'll soon change, she added. It will? Just like that? Well, it looks like she's up to something. I rather like the mountains as they are, Fraulein. Or I ignore the remark and continued at gates out the window. No good coal mines, I think. That'll soon change, she added. So there'll be more. I rather like the mountains as they are. Or it will, just like that. This is kind of like a interesting... So we're ignoring people? Sort of exploring a line, or... I don't really know what the axe is. Seems to suggest violence, but I don't know. Let's just... I mean, of course, knowing a bit of history, maybe that has something to do with it, but let's stick with... I rather like the mountains as they are, Fraulein. Meet Wolf. Get more achievements by clicking on these things. Okay. Then you're in luck. We'll be amongst them for many, many, many more hours. She stuck out a glove hand. Fraulein Wolf, not Swiss, German. Mr. Smith, I said as I shook the outstretched hand. I'm not making this up, Barbie. That was her name. The greatest of pleasures, Fraulein returned. Let's be... charismatic and see what happens. Maybe we can get some more information. Not the greatest, I'm sure. A wider smile this time. The train lurched back into motion. For a moment we were jostled together. 5 empty seats, and she had picked the one beside me. Where are you headed, Fraulein? Or, I hear the air up there is exhilarating. And please do try to keep your balance. Do we continue? I don't know this tragedy comedy business. Is that supposed to go down another path. I don't know. Let's continue with this. Where are you headed? Note, she's interested in you. I go where my work takes me, she answered. I'm very, how you say, like a dog. Dogged. Appropriate for a wolf. Ah, that's actually pretty funny. I take it then that you never give up. I guess we can... I think both of these are probably appropriate. Let's do this. She looked quite blank. How so? I let it slide. She turned to examine her reflection in the window glass and adjusted the fall of her hair. A pity the way those soft blonde waves hit a brow worked fine for me. We continued to talk. But you're from Germany. They say a war is coming. I fell silent. I had weightier matters to consider. Continue, I guess. We continued to talk. It was a pleasant way to spend the time, and there was plenty of time to spend. Before we parted, we agreed to meet again at the bar of the Hotel Riva San Vitale. Is it Vitale? Vitale? I don't know. Perhaps I would be in luck, and Fräulein Wolf would prove to be my contact. Okay. Alright, let's continue. You've got mail. These achievements are just unlocking. Who knows how many there will be. I rather like the artwork here, so pardon me for taking a screenshot right here. Let's see. Once again, we have a journal, map. We are now in this section, and okay, I can just close it that way. We've got the hotel. I can't click on anything else. It's kind of nice that using the controller, it just kind of, the magnifying glass just goes to where you can click. There's no guesswork here. So let's click on the hotel. And those windows flipped. Aubrey, I saw the Fräulein again. My dear Fräulein, I begin. Before I get to that, let me tell you about my contact. I don't know where I'm going, and I tell you, German girls drink like weeds. Who is Aubrey that you're writing to? Is she your, I don't know. Let's just go keep on. You're extremely charismatic. Ah, the excellent Heiress Smith. She patted the stool next to hers and pointed across the room. I've been watching this funny Italian man. Look at him. I looked, identifying my contact immediately. Perhaps you know that man, Fräulein. I avoided approaching him as long as I could. A player of the game should know when they're being played. Let's go with this. Meet Vercoli. Perhaps you know the man, Fräulein. Why, Mr. Smith, are you jealous? She replied with a smile. Why don't we call him over? She waved her glove, and the man almost skipped towards us, ungrateful as a child. There you are, he enthused, speaking only to me as though the Fräulein wasn't here, like a perfect idiot. You're the agent, yes? We'll go tonight from the bay after dark. He hurried away. Fräulein Wolf raised a delicious eyebrow. Agent? Travel agent. That's funny. Okay. I raised a finger to my lips. Tell no one. Oh, that's a threat. I gotcha. So this is kind of like, I guess that's more angelic. So, and let's just, I guess, keep up the, I don't know. Let's do this. She giggled. Let me buy you a drink, Heiress Smith. It is not dark yet. This is probably going to go really wrong really quickly, isn't it? But usually threatening somebody doesn't help. Okay, we got two paths to this next destination. We can choose the path Is that the water path? Or by train, I suppose. This is water, correct? Let's take the water path. The idiot arranged to cross the lake by rowboat. Okay, well. I'll spare you the details how we rowed across the lake, but it was as grim a task as you might expect. My Italian friend did exactly none of the work. I still didn't know what we were doing out there. Still, Lake Lugano is quite something. Well, let's do that. Take, the best of what we can. Right? Big, wide, enchanting in the moonlight, all the rest. Then a shot rang out, then another. Dio mio, wailed my Italian. Be quiet, I snapped. Someone's shooting at us, and I fear I know who. Just a car on the shore backfiring, very common for cars. These are great. These are fantastic. Alright, let's do that. You're now romantic. Someone's shooting at us, and I fear I know who. Then row faster, my friend jittered back. Good advice. I made short work of the final stretch, my strokes of the oars spurred on by thoughts of getting back to that raven-haired beauty I left in Milan. Okay. Didn't get shot to death, at least. So we've arrived. It is August 30th. Hitler reaffirms promise not to invade Switzerland. In a meeting between Swiss and German officials last night in Berlin, the German Chancellor reaffirmed his country's commitment to respect the Switzerland's neutrality in the event of war. This should calm fears in the chocolate-loving nation, which is rumored to have significantly bolstered its Alpine military defense system in recent months. Okay. Options are, so we're back, Hotel Alpine, I don't know. All of which puts us here, Aubrey, old chum. The imaginatively named Hotel Alpine. The Italian and I sat together at the breakfast table like a perfect couple of chumps. He had his napkin tucked into his collar. Are you ready to tell me what we're going yet? I'm ditching you here, you understand. I don't even know your name. Let's stick with that. The Italian trusts you. The oaf reached across the table and shook my hand in his. Please. It is my daughter. She has been taken. We must rescue her. I spluttered. It sounded more like a fairy tale than a mission. Let's see. Well then, I suppose we'd better go and get her. Look here, if you're lying to me, or if your daughter is someone important, I imagine. I mean, we've been blundering all along. We could just keep on blundering along. Or should we be more speculative? Let's be more speculative. Of course she is. She's my daughter. The man looked at me like I was a heartless cad, not a member of Her Majesty's finest trying to do his job. He took his hand back, thank God, and patted his chest. I am Primo Vercoli, at your service. Smith. Not your real name, of course. Frankly, I don't care what you... Alright, well, you're extremely honorable. Good to make your acquaintance, Senior Smith. I nodded and got back to the business of eating my kippers. I'm not sure what kippers are, but that's okay. We go to the train station in Lugano, he continued. Then to Bellinzona. I don't know. 2 or 3 hours. Then we rescue my daughter. They have her in the castle there. He leaned back, evidently pleased with his plan. And now, how is your smoked fish? May I try? Well, he's a food addict, apparently, and wanting to eat off of somebody else's plate. That usually doesn't bode well, but hey, especially in this day and age of worldwide disease pandemic and such, better just to eat your own food, don't you think? My options are limited to these things up top. I am very curious. Welcome to stamp book. Cool. Oh, these are achievements. Okay, well, I guess this tells me how many there are. Alright, let's click on the map, I suppose. I think that's what we need to do. We can go to Lugano one of two ways. We hitchhike from Melinda to Lugano, or we walk the 4 miles. Haha, we're gonna walk, because the dude is a foodie, he's gonna be hungry. Let's see if he has other plans, and walking 4 miles, well, probably gives you a little bit better idea to get to know the man. I don't know if that's really the case. I'm just messing around here, of course. It's me again, Aubrey. We've followed the lakeside road to Lugano, a 2-hour walk that took 3 hours because Vercoli kept stopping to dab his forehead with a handkerchief. But we reached the town in one piece, at least, well, and with no one on our tail that I could see. Now, they reached the town in 2 pieces. Hopefully we're not stuck together. I plan to hide in plain sight. My idea was to slip into the station very quietly over a fence. Then we stroll towards the station, just a couple of tourists taking the mountain air. Actually, all these are pretty good. Plan to hide in plain sight. That is not bad. Let's hide in plain sight. I would board the train with the swagger of a millionaire. Would the ladies care to choose which mountain I might buy? Champagne for everyone. Aboard the express. So we're on the express. And we've got... yeah, basically, let's just keep on going. We're on board the express. The train was ready. We were just about to climb aboard when... there you are, you Hund. A woman's voice, loud, shrill, and familiar. I ignored it. Hoping to deflect attention, I gasped and pointed a short man a few paces down the platform. I whirled around. A woman's voice, loud, shrill, and familiar. Yeah, let's stick with the purple. No one here knew me, after all. I was worth no one's time. But I was, it seemed, worth a slap in the face. It was the Fraulein. She wasn't smiling now. Speaking of dogs, Fraulein, you seem to be dogging my heels. My darling, but this isn't what you think. Hello, Fraulein, and goodbye. She's pissed. Let's try that? Oof. Ha! Nobody believes these theatrics of yours, she shot back. She slapped me with the other hand across the other cheek. It seemed rather she was playing a scene, but for whom? She turned to address the audience that was beginning to form around us on the concourse. This man stole a priceless pearl necklace from me in a most ungentlemanly way. Perhaps Primo would vouch for me. It's perfectly alright. This is my wife. This woman's a lunatic. Let's keep up this theatrical business. You're now quite dashing. I might as well have given him opera glasses. This was better than a matinee at the cinema. The audience was hooked. Here. She thrust her hand into my jacket pocket and seemed to produce a string of pearls. The crowd gasps. I hear the clatter of a police car's bell approaching. Uh-oh. Now I'm in trouble. Here we go. This is not the end, Fraulein, I declared. I turned and ran for the train. Let's just do this. This is the end of the game. You've been caught by the polizier. I heard the clatter of police car's bell approaching. This is not the end, Fraulein declared. Oh, she replied more quietly with a not-so-innocent smile. I do hope not. As the polizier dragged me away, I saw the Fraulein getting into a car with a man I didn't recognize, who took her arm with a sympathetic care. Where to now? I'm just curious as to whether this is... okay, I guess. I mean, that was clearly not the right thing to do. I just... was very amused by it. I'm sure I could have run away. Oh, actually, maybe not even that. I guess I'm being taken to the Riviera. No choice here. Hey, at least you get to travel by car. Or train or bus or whatever it is that they were riding at the time. Alright, one second. Well, Aubrey, it's a toss-up. Perhaps the Swiss police are the most insane, or perhaps it's control. I thought the police would take me to Bellinzona, throw me in the same cell as Vericoli's daughter, and save me a lot of bother. And the choices are, I was biding my time. I worked on the handcuffs as best I could. I worked on the officer in the back with a van. I worked on the officer in the back of the van with me. Alright, let's go with that. He was impenetrable. He might as well have been made of cheese. But when the van doors opened, I saw we were not in the lion's den, but rather in some microscopic, unheard of little town. How is cheese impenetrable? How is cheese impenetrable? Pretty sure my knife goes through it every time. But, okay, Riviera. We have options of this little... Is that the station? There's a little airplane flying by. It's adorable. Alright, let's just keep on going. I was dragged inside a beer house. Okay. The smell sausages and stale beer from the shadows at the back. A cigarette flared. This isn't a police station. Where am I? May I have one of those as well? You're going to remove these handcuffs? Let's ask for one of those cigars. Or cigarettes. I have a question for you, English. A man's voice. Deep, resonant French, perhaps? What exactly have you been playing at? And I don't answer questions from people I can't see. I'm English, and I demand you telephone the British Embassy. Control sent you. Let's do that. See what happens. The police here call spies bedbugs. Did you know that? Little bugs living in their bed? The man paused to draw on a cigarette. Ironic, no? He smiled as he saw the realization dawn on my face. He was one of us. I'd like to understand what you were thinking back in Lugano, making such a spectacle of yourself. It was the German woman. I was heading to Bellinzona with my contact. I was handling it. Let's stick with the German woman. Keep her on the... Was it? Not a question. Well, friend, you are now, as one says, on the radar. The cigarette tapped on an ashtray with some petulance. From here on, for God's sake, stop making it so easy for my men to find you, and do go off mission. Is that clear? Very. No guns, please. I hate dodging bullets. Off mission. Let's see what that... Yes, that was supposed to be a mission. Your contact knew the details, but he's still unaccounted for, I'm afraid. A flick of the cigarette, a little scatter of ash. A moment for me to consider. Unaccounted for, but... Vericoli. I began. He was my contact, wasn't he? We never heard of Vericoli before. Now get moving. The cigarette moved to indicate a small door at the rear. We'll be in touch once control has worked out what good you can do out here. Wow, I'm a real Bumbling agent. This is great. We'll be in touch once control has worked out what good you can do out here. There was no time for more questions. I was hustled away through an empty kitchen, then out the back of the beer house. Oh, this is great. Go back to the map, I suppose, right? So we can travel to... Let's see. I got two paths. I walked away from the town. Or, I stole a policeman's bicycle. Let's just walk. What is that spinning off in the... I don't know what that is. I don't... The stuff that was on the right side of the screen, I don't know what that was. Alright. I imagine the police might start looking for me in Bellinzona, so I hiked up the nearest mountain and decided to lie low on high. Two things were clear now. I mulled them over as I walked. One, Vercoli had not been my contact. As far as control was concerned, I reached Riva and then gone completely rogue in the company of an unknown Italian. Where my actual contact had got to, he wasn't coming back. I had only myself to blame. Or it was Control's fault, of course, or I'll be leaving this Vercoli business out of my report, that's for certain. Let's at least own up to our mistakes, right? All the signs had been there back in Riva. San Vitali had been too nervous, too awkward, but I'd been too otherwise engaged. Not the first time a girl has gotten under my skin, thrown me off my game, but the first time I'd been docked for it. This must be how Bunny felt right before Control gave him the axe. Uh-oh. Yeah, this stuff right here. There was stuff on the right side. I don't know what that is. Okay. What is this? There's a time limit, apparently. I guess I shouldn't be mussing around too much. Oh, the artwork here is fantastic. Picture me, Aubrey. Log 5, warm brandy. I found an empty cabin up here. Marvelously well stocked. You'll think me a lucky devil, but these are the Swiss Alps. The locals are too savvy to be caught short if they're snowed in. And I needed the brandy. I was mixed up in something. It was rattling around inside my head like a loose change. Let's see. I imagined confronting Vercoli. A man could shoot himself quite happily out here. I knew I wouldn't be able to leave it alone. Let's stick with the bold and brash, right? I had a feeling there was something in this wretched business that would be worth following up on. Then, an interruption. There was a knock on the door. Okay, let's open the door. Damn her eyes, Aubrey. I stayed silent. Maybe she'd go away. Sometimes I wish I carried a gun. I opened the door. There was no point in hiding. Let's stick with the green. Or the smug as a stranger. Let's just see where this goes. The night was cold, but she wasn't wearing a coat. Well, aren't you going to ask me in? Would that be wise? Or would it matter? No. Let's do this. I'm not armed, if that's what you mean. The Fraulein lifted her arms above her head and turned in a slow circle under the light of the porch lantern. Look, she said. I looked, satisfied. Without waiting for an answer, she stepped inside. If this went on any longer, she'd be helping herself to the brandy I'd found. I had to come. I believe I owe you an apology, Mr. Smith. Only one. Let's see. I was listening. Does one apologize to one's enemies, Fraulein? I was listening. Alright, let's just stay quiet. I got into the most awful lot of trouble, didn't I? This Vercoli business. My contact. Not as much trouble as I'd like to be in. She came over to me. There was excitement in her eyes. Let's get in trouble together then, shall we? You want Vercoli's daughter, I think. And so do I. She giggled like a schoolgirl, one of those fearsome ones that carries a hockey stick. I propose a solemn pact, Smith, an alliance to be broken the instant one of us double-crosses the other. It'll be fun, don't you agree? Sounds detestable. As fun as a toothache. Or if we play, you'll lose, Fraulein. I'll stick with it. Now that's the spirit. The wolf paced away from across the room and curled herself up on the rug before the fire, slipped off her shoes. This description says if you were a real wolf or a dog. No, don't be a bore. Pour me a drink. We'll discuss how we're gonna spring the Veracoli girl from her castle. Damn her eyes, Aubrey. This is a very messed up agent. Well, by my hands, he's not doing too well. Got an achievement. Her Mauser lay on the table by the couch, placed there after she'd removed it from the strap holster on her thigh. I've got Fraulein Wolf's gun now, Aubrey. She's sleeping. As for her, I dumped her body out the door. I don't know. Let's do that. As I look at her, I wonder if there's still hope for her. For Europe, if people turn to bad. If people turn to bad, can ever be turned to good again. When they're sleeping, even Nazis look innocent enough. I want to lay a blanket over her against the cold. I feel a fool, Aubrey. But there are worse things to be. I've got her gun now. I'll be gone before she wakes up. Which one? Which one? Haven't really pursued the yellow lines very much. So maybe let's do that. I've got her gun. You've acquired Fraulein Wolf's pistol. I've got a gun achievement. Okay. Ooh. These orange lines come up. Okay. When they're asleep. Here we go. I might need to use it on her. I've got a soft spot for irony. I'll be gone before she wakes up. One shot through the temple. That's all it would take. I don't really feel like shooting, so I'll be gone. You know, I'm pretty much a pacifist. Despite various violent video games that I play, I still don't like to think that I want to take anybody's lives in my hands. Anyway, call me a cat if you like, but remember she's a Nazi, Aubrey. I worked in the slaughterhouse on my uncle's estate one summer, Aubrey. Did I ever tell you that? The chief butcher asked me once, why are swine born with such wonderful eyes? Damn her eyes. We'll continue that. Probably not a good idea to keep her alive, but it is what it is. Let's go to the next town. I made my way downhill on foot. So this stuff, I don't know what this is. On the right here, I got my mouse. I don't know if you can see it. There's 2 on the question mark, 0 on paths, and 0 on foot. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Not sure. But it is what it is. Let's continue. At the foot of the mountain was a pretty little village called Nazo. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at these names. I took a shortcut into the village by way of a paddock fence, or I took the main road in. I'll take the main road in, let people know where I am and how to find me. If the police were looking for me here, then I'd stand no chance in Bellinzona. Whatever happened, I was in the mood for messing about. I was thirsty and footsore and badly in need of a break. Could have just... I don't know. Whatever. You left no footprints and no diversions. Police successfully evaded? Oh, I didn't get a chance to read the rest of that. Second time something like that pops up and I realize it's something I should look at. The bus to Bellinzona departs whenever you're ready. We'll look at the next day here. Soviet Union ratifies non-aggression pact with Germany. Today the Supreme Soviet of... That is what it says, right? Today the Supreme Soviet of the Soviet Union ratified the Treaty of Non-Aggression between Germany and the USSR. The agreement, revelations of which shocked the world earlier this month, states that neither government may ally itself to or aid an enemy of the other. The pact marks a surprising turn from Stalin's government following months of negotiations with Britain and France towards establishing a similar alliance. Alright, so I think I am very amused. Oh, there's 2 things to click on here in town. I am going to save and stop this episode because it's been going on long enough. I am very curious as to where this is going, so I will keep on playing. I will record more when I play again. Again, this game is coming out on Steam soon, but it's been around on Apple Arcade, so I don't have an issue with posting videos before the release. I am going to I'll keep on doing this. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and see you next time. Bye-bye.